thank you so much for reaching out to me and wanting to have an English conversation. Before we go ahead, would you like to introduce yourself to my audience?
Yeah, yeah, sure. My name is Sheela. I am based in Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. And by profession, say for the past 10 years, I am into teaching written and spoken Hindi for all age groups.
Wow, that's good.
So that's about me. I started off my career as a lecturer. Then I dived into market research. So for quite some time, I was working in the field of market research. Then after that, I shifted to my original passion of teaching. And since here there is scope for Hindi, and I was, like Hindi came to me easily. So I thought, why not give this a try?
That's
It took off.
interesting.
Yeah.
So you worked as a lecturer in teaching Hindi or marketing?
No. I have done my PG in sociology.
Okay, okay.
I belong to South, but I was only born in the South. I was brought up in the North, in Madhya Pradesh,
Oh,
because
that's
my
interesting.
father was working there. Yeah. So that's how Hindi came to me naturally.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you
Uh,
so much, ma'am. So, thank you for that lovely introduction. It's very interesting to know because in Tamil Nadu, like I'm not sure if it is still happening, but those days, uh, Hindi was not that common there because it was not being taught
no.
in schools. So that's good to know. Like you're teaching Hindi there, but how
Yeah.
come? So, do you have a YouTube channel, like, or you're
No,
doing
I
just
don't actually. I don't. I don't have a
okay?
YouTube channel. I take classes from home. So
Okay.
people come to me. People come to
Okay.
me for classes. Children, students, housewives, men, working men.
Okay.
So I
So,
have different batches.
so your English is good too. I would say, like, you should start your spoken English classes as well, uh, so that people can benefit
Uh,
from your teaching because you
yeah,
have
what happens
experience in
is
teaching.
when I teach Hindi grammar, I have to teach them through English.
Oh, you have to, okay, teach them through English.
Yeah, through English because Hindi is not their mother tongue. So it is not their first language. So when I teach them spoken, I teach them grammar, Hindi grammar.
Okay.
So only many of them, only if you know English grammar, you can understand Hindi grammar also. So I'll
Okay.
have to take the help of Hindi English grammar.
Okay. Okay. That's good. So your English is good as well. So let's say someone wants to, how was your journey of learning English?
Uh, I actually didn't realize. No, I didn't look at it as a journey at all. I had the environment, so it came to me right from my childhood because I was in a boarding school. I was in a convent boarding school
Okay.
in Maharashtra, and then I did my, college in Madhya Pradesh. So I had that environment, so it came naturally to me. I didn't have to work at it, but now looking at, like people, then find it as, like, oh, there is a real problem. This is a real problem area, which I didn't realize it.
Yeah, that's right. Like many people, they want to learn. I think, especially like since you had an environment, people around you, and maybe your
Yeah,
schooling was in
yeah,
English too.
yeah.
It's coming naturally to you. But let's say someone is learning spoken English now. What would you recommend to them? Like how should they start?
And then the typical, like listening,
Okay.
reading, more than reading, listening. Because I'll tell you my experience. See,
Okay.
there is nothing called as I know English, I can speak English. Every day you learn something or the other, isn't it? Maybe now I'm
Absolutely.
speaking to you. I may, catch some word from you, and I
Yeah.
will start using it, and then I'll start owning it. It will become mine,
Okay.
isn't it? So that's how I look at it. Like observe people, listen to people who are,
Right.
like speakers, and I would, I like that, like don't read in small words or don't speak words. Learn sentences or phrases
Okay.
because many of us will know the words, but then putting those words into use and framing a sentence, that also is a task, isn't it?
That's right.
But of course, vocabulary is a part of it. I'm not saying no.
Okay.
And I don't know whether, you may have your opinion may differ.
No, no, no. Since you have been teaching Hindi, so the language may differ, but the teaching is
Yeah,
same. Whether because you
the
have been a
same.
language
Correct.
teacher,
Correct.
so
Correct.
it's not that I
Correct.
know better or someone else knows better. Everyone, as you say, there is something to learn from them. There is always
Yes.
the
Yes.
certain vocabulary that they use
Yes.
that we can learn from them.
Yes.
And since you were
Yes.
a language teacher, you are still teaching languages now. I think we can get something from that experience that I want to like focus on. So, how long would you say, like, if someone has to speak English fluently, how long would you say is a practical expectation?
See, this again, when people ask me this, I tell them that it depends upon your grasping power and the amount of hard work or whatever you put in.
Right.
People will come to me, they'll tell me, I want my child to learn Hindi. When will he start speaking?
Okay.
This is the question they ask.
Yeah.
Because, see, because our mindset is like that. How do we expect that? See, I'm paying something, then when will I get the result? Isn't it?
Yes.
That is but natural. I tell them it depends upon your determination and your hard work. I will put in my contribution. But then what about your contribution, which will have to keep happening every day on a daily basis?
That's correct.
So
So
maybe
based
I
on
may learn in 3 months. You may learn in 1 month, or say you may even take 1 year to learn. It depends.
that's correct. So it comes with the practice. It's not just like we learn. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's more of how much effort one puts in every single day
yeah.
and practices that language.
Consistency, persistence, all this also matters.
Okay. Okay.
Consistently, you have to be at it, isn't it?
That's correct.
Especially when it is new.
Yes.
Mm.
And these days, the environment when you grew up, things were different. But these days, there is the opportunity, like for many things that one can look after. For example, we have social media. There is, if one wants to learn English, there are many resources. They can go online, they can read, they can listen to English conversations like us. There are many more 100 channels which are already doing that. Uh, let's say if someone is struggling to learn languages, they are putting their effort, but they are not able to get it, though they are like practicing it. What would you
Mm.
recommend to them?
That means you are in the wrong direction, boss. Change your direction. You have taken the wrong road. Take the
Okay,
correct road, isn't
okay,
it?
that's correct. Maybe they are doing technically something wrong.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You have to first sit and chalk out a plan, proper plan,
Okay,
isn't it?
that's
And
correct.
then follow, yeah, and then follow it, not
Yeah,
just for sake of doing it.
that's right.
Sometimes what happens only by practice, trial and error method. If this method is not suiting me, okay, let me change track, quickly switch on to the next one and try out.
Yeah.
Any technical problem you have from your side?
No, I just froze for some time. Now I'm good now. So yeah, I
Yeah,
like the. Just a second. I'll trim this off.
yeah,
Don't worry.
yeah,
I'll trim it off. I can do
yeah,
editing.
yeah, yeah. No problem. No problem.
Yeah. Okay. We are good now. Yeah. So as you say, like I'll just rephrase what you said. They are going on a path, and that's not working. So better change the path.
Yes,
So
yes,
one thing is like what I observed is like same things may not work for everyone. Everyone is
correct,
unique.
correct,
Everyone is unique.
correct,
So the technique that they have to
correct,
follow, they have to figure out themselves. Of course, there are many teachers online, but they have to see which is working for them. They have to analyze. They have
correct,
to be their best
correct,
friend or best teacher or
correct,
best analyst for them, critic, analyst, everything about
correct.
themselves.
I agree, 100% right.
Okay. So, what are your hobbies like other than teaching? What else you do?
My work is my hobby because I just love it.
Yeah.
I just love it. I am tied up the whole day, leaving out afternoon and night. I get off by around 8 p.m. That's why I had messaged you 9:30.
Oh, okay, okay. You take a nap. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
So, why do you get so much satisfaction from this field? What is there that is? I can see your happy face that you enjoy it. I can say it.
Yes,
But
yes,
why? What is
yes.
that is make giving you happiness or making you satisfied?
When I look at people, talk to people, get to know so many things. I just love interacting with people. When I'm interacting with you, I'm getting to know so much that, like otherwise, how would I know there's a person called Kishore, somewhere in Andhra, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. So that's the primary motive. Sorry, I didn't
And my
introduce
love for
myself.
language. I
Okay,
love language.
that's good to know. So sorry, I didn't introduce myself to you in the beginning. Let me give a brief
Yeah,
introduction about myself. I am
yeah,
Kishore, so I'm from Hyderabad. Like I love uh, to do like YouTube videos and all. So this is my second channel, which is English with Kishore. I think you have saw me in other channels as well, giving talking
yes.
to them. So my first channel is Net Learn English. So since you said Hindi, we have a connection there. So Net Learn Hindi. So I teach English through Hindi. So what I do is like I
Lovely.
make stories, like cartoon stories, and in the stories the person will be speaking, the character will be speaking in Hindi first and then in English, so that it becomes easy for someone to learn English.
Understood.
In my opinion, one is like one method of learning is like classroom method where you go and learn from a teacher, but it's not possible for everyone, like as you say, like people who didn't have an environment or studied in Hindi
Correct.
language or other medium of
Correct.
their mother tongue. For them, I feel the movies are one of the best medium right now, because everyone has smartphones. If someone doesn't have a smartphone, it's a surprise, right?
True,
So
true.
that's I feel it's a powerful medium, because I learned Tamil. I know Tamil, I can speak Tamil, but I learned,
Excellent.
yeah, I can speak Tamil, and the way I learned Tamil is watching mostly movies. I
Movies.
love movies.
Okay.
So long back. So what happened was, I used to. I'm a movie freak, so I love movies. I like to watch movies in different languages. So at that time, like this was like 10 years back or 15 years back. So the Tamil movies, they make quality content. Even now, the content is very good. The stories are like more natural, realistic. Nothing like a lot of show off or posh, nothing like
Correct.
that, right?
Correct.
So the stories are very good. So I was awe inspired with Tamil movies. So I learned Tamil because I wanted to watch movies, because when we watch a movie, we can relish it more when we speak or understand the language that they are saying. What happens is, like when it is translated into Hindi or English or Tamil, the essence is gone,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
So that's when I picked up Tamil. So now I can speak Telugu, Tamil, Hindi, English. So we have a connect of Tamil and Hindi because I am
Lovely.
teaching English through Hindi.
I can understand Telugu. I can speak broken Telugu,
Okay, that's very good.
but not very fluently. Yeah, not fluently at all.
I think it
I can
depends on the
understand.
environment. If one has an environment, just like you say, how they can improve English, same goes with any other language. So what was your since you've been in Madhya Pradesh and then came to Tamil Nadu, and uh, how was it in Madhya Pradesh? How culturally, how different was? Though it's India, as you know, India has many states,
Yeah.
culturally very different. How was it for you?
See, practically speaking, it was a little bit tough
Okay,
because post marriage I shifted to south
okay,
after marriage, so I had to leave my job. It was not a transferable job. So one was that itself was I did not like it took me some time to adjust to that. Plus, I was not brought up in a typical South Indian environment.
okay,
So I found here sorry to talk, I mean, sorry to mention about the caste, but we belong to typical Tambrams. We are all typical Tambrams.
okay,
But I was not brought up in that environment.
okay.
So when I shifted, it was a big shift for me. Because, say, culture wise, here it was more orthodox,
Yes.
typical Tambram family. So it took me a year to find myself. But then since I'm a fighter, I got back.
Okay, that's good to know. So, as you know, like, I've been saying this even when I was in school. I was very good in writing essays, no matter which language. If you give it to me in Hindi, Telugu, English, I used to write essays. I've been writing about caste system since then. Nothing
Same
has
here.
changed.
Sorry to interrupt. Same here.
Nothing has changed. The reason, the caste was formed with a reason, with an intention. There was an intention when they formed it, like hundreds of years ago or thousands of years ago. They want to make sure the profession, just like textile, if
Yes.
someone is doing textile, in the textile skill, they have that that skill shouldn't go away. So that's why they form this caste, so that the skill keeps going from one generation to the other generation. That's the
Correct.
intention. But
Correct.
in the last 1,000 years or so, people took that
Yes.
in a different direction and started
Yes.
discriminating between castes.
Yes. Correct.
Usually I feel people say, there is racism outside India, in Australia, US, UK, but I feel there is a lot of racism in India.
Correct.
There is
100%.
regionalism, right? There is regionalism. One says, oh, you are from that state, you are from this state, you speak that language, we speak this language. I think unless and until we fix that fundamental issue in India, we can't progress more than what we are right now.
Correct. I found it very strange when I shifted to South post marriage. I was like, suddenly, there were so many things, small things, which I never knew because I was not brought up like that. I was brought up with a very broad minded, my parents were very broad minded.
Okay.
So I was like, suddenly it was kind of confining me to something. And, like not going to certain marriages, not going, but if you're going, then don't eat there. This was all unthinkable for me.
Yes.
I thought that this is a crime against humanity.
Right, that's right. That
But
has to stop. Like, I have heard things like that, you shouldn't eat in a house of certain caste. That has to stop. I hope it gets resolved. At least, that's one of the reasons why I started this channel is, whatever little knowledge I have, whatever little experience. You are much more experienced than me. uh, I want to share my thoughts. Not just English. Learning English is one aspect to it. The other
one
thing is
aspect,
like meeting people. The other thing is like
true.
enlightening or giving, what I think. And I also learn from other people, like when I interact. I am learning a lot from you today. I feel very privileged to talk to you today.
Same here.
So let's come to the food. If you say like Madhya Pradesh, their food is different, then you are saying
Yes.
Tanbram, like that's the food is
Yes.
totally different. How was that shift for you?
The whole thing, it took me 1 year, I'm telling you, every inclusive of everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, because it affects your mindset. When your mindset is affected, your whole system gets affected
that's
because it
good.
all stems from your mind. So that was a tough time for me, but then it's okay. It happens in life, ups and downs, some
That's
gives
true.
and some takes. Yeah.
Yeah, one is like we may think or think of our future, or foresee this is how it is going to be. No matter how much, however you think, whatever has to happen will happen. God
Yes.
has a plan for you.
Yes. That's why I tell people whenever they come, I said, have plan A, B, C. If A
That's
doesn't work, what next? That should be your question. What next? Shift to B. Of course, I'm not saying that no, leave A completely. Try it for a practical, period of time, then shift to B. But then your mindset should be such that I have three plans in my mind, so that you don't get depressed or vexed that if one doesn't work out, because it doesn't happen like that. Life teaches you the other way around. You must be thinking one, but then life gives you such a blow sometimes that it shakes you up literally. So what I have learned in life is be prepared. Be prepared for surprises.
yeah,
Surprises will come anytime.
yeah, that's true. So